Hey guys, it's Kosi. Welcome back to episode 2 of
I want to be ninja.
In this Zero to Hero, you know what? No, I'm not gonna say it. If you're new here, go back and watch episode 1 so you're up to date with what's going on. But leave a like first. However, for everyone who watched episode 1 and is ready for the nightmare that is pugging lower keys, I got something I need to tell you.
Oh, really?
Come a bit closer here.
I bet you're a mega fapper.
With that being said, Zero to Hero Subbie Rogue.
Are you stupid or something?
In the last episode, we almost didn't see anything insane besides this 5-minute intro that sent me into an existential crisis more than once. However, I showed you a little bit of our first key. So that's where we're gonna start today. Furthermore, because I'm feeling juicy right now, I'm gonna show you vault number 2 later, because guess what? Your boy is absolutely pickpocketing that vault loot. My god. So if you're down with this, hold up. I just got informed that we start this episode with a simple hack to make your puggy experience infinitely easier. Don't invite rogues to the Ascension Affix. They're dogshit. And if you find a rogue claiming he's useful, he's also a dogshit player.
And that's a fact.
Hey, like and subscribe please. I even got memberships now if you want to support me. Please. Alright, so since I feel like I have to make up for the lack of gameplay last episode, let's jump right into the keys. Floodgate 2, and for the first time probably ever, the first key is not my own key. No one applied to mine, so I joined theirs with one goal in mind. Roleplay. You think those +2 playing Muppets would figure out that I put my key in last second? Okay, first key and I'm already a little bitch rogue. Unless I can pump over 10 mil just like that, baby. Recently I'm taking my vitamins and I think it shows.
Okay.
So let's quickly go over in a pretty packaged version of an entry guide to Sub Rogue without any major mechanics. Similar to every other rogue, we spent energy on spells, or styles as those classic degens would correct you for, to generate combo points. And then we spent those points on even bigger spells. Yes, spells, you classic muppet. It's a spell book, deal with it.
Daddy, chill.
We can use all of our finisher. Wait, it's called finisher.
Stupid.
With however many combo points we have, but using them with more points will equal in a stronger version. So while hitting them with one combo point equals a pool noodle spanking you slightly, a 7 CP eviscerate will even make Jake the Ripper cream. Now one thing people would argue about is that Sub Rogue has too many cooldowns. We got a 90-second Giga pump window with Shadow Blades and Flagellation, which for you puck brains is, well, every second pull. And then we got 2 that you can spam a lot more frequently with Symbols of Death, which just kinda buffs all the stuff you do, as well as Shadow Dance, which allows you to use spells that are usually used from stealth. For us, that's mainly Shadow Strike, and sometimes Cheap Shot if you need to stun something quickly. Which brings us to our combo point gainers, and I'm just naming the ones you'd actually use. Backstab, which is not only the way you got conceived, but is also our main spam single target button to generate points. During stealth, or during Shadow Dance, that very same button will be replaced with Shadow Strike, which is backstab, but while being rock hard. And for AoE stuff, we spinning.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Now our spenders are where shit hits the fan. We got Slice and Dice, Auto Attack Speed, which is awesome and gets applied passively. How about that? Rupture, our dot that actually ticks quite nutty once it can tick most of its duration and the mobs don't die too quick. And we got African American Powder.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
Which, yeah, no comment, since I'm white. And then we have Eviscerate. Basic ass hit that will clap some serious cheeks during DPS windows. But it doesn't end there. We got Secret Technique, baby. Now, do I even faintly understand how this bitch works? Absolutely not. The tooltip is way too long and I don't read that. But even though it's AoE, you keep that thing on cooldown, even on single target. That's something I know. There's also another cooldown I didn't mention, which is Cold Blood, and I just macroed that to Secret Tech, so I always use it together. Do that and ignore the button completely. So that's the basic stuff. Pressing buttons reduces also the cooldown of Secret Tech as well as Shadow Dance, which means we can spend more time doing more pew pew.
Nice.
And for the majority of our AoE, we pretty much have passive cleave to up to 8 targets with our hero talent Trickster, which kinda gets you questioning what are you even doing if that bitch does about 40% of your overall. So now, since we all totally know what's going on, sort of, let's jump right into the keys that made me realize how utterly dogshit rogues are when it comes to utility Mythic Plus. We have none. Bro, none. But we do have AoE, but yeah, shut up. The only two useful things I found on Rogue, or specifically Sub-Rogue, are the Shadow Step into Kick combo to ensure a slightly smoother gathering if your ranged DPS are lacking the interrupts, or if they're playing Beastmaster, and this, a choice of poison that either decreases attack as well as casting speed on the enemies, or atrophic, whatever that means, poison to simply reduce all damage they're done by 3.6%. What an odd number. AoE blind, garbage. Kidney shot, garbage. Sheep shot, yeah right, you're gonna use that from stealth instead of Shadow Strike that gives you full combo points instantly. But hey, we got a 1 hour buff of our misdirect spell on the tank, which means we can just YOLO pull non-stop and no one will notice. However, I need somebody to explain to me in a calm manner why, oh why, doesn't AoE blind work on those damn balls?
I don't know, Jeff.
I legit had to run around and cheap shot them individually whenever I ended up in the party that just didn't bother. It was insane. However, I'm yapping again. This floodgate key was my own because after spending legit hours in queue in dire need of anybody to play, I figured out I need to push my own stuff up to 6 in order to get some kind of attention. Unfortunately, we had way too many mess ups throughout. Dying to trash, most importantly. This was rough to say the least, and it didn't help that we legit bricked this key by mere seconds. This was just overall poorly executed on our end. But when I tell you guys I was mighty defeated just right now, just what, 4 keys into the season, I'm not over exaggerating. Every key I did so far was legit only a 1 chest, which is slightly frustrating if you want to get up there to play with the big boys. Be it as it may, I didn't stop, not a tiny bit. So you believe your boy grinded every damn key level until I reached the Covenant plus 6 level on this journey. And it took me mere seconds to fill this thing up. And this bitch was stacked. Stacked as that one chick in high school that all of a sudden had puberty hit her pretty crazy during the summer holidays. If you know, you know.
Stop it. Get some help.
Now one thing to mention here would be that I still refuse to go for a 2 set bonus even though I got 1 set piece from the vault, because the 2 set ain't it. It's a tiny bit more damage, which I figured doesn't make sense to rush without having the proper item to convert. And while all those 2 set having gamers were absolutely crushing my self-esteem, I can at least cheese some burst onto the boss and use it as a thumbnail. Who's the real winner now?
I'm an adult virgin.
However, I was quickly able to figure out the change of quality from these guys compared to what I ran with before. Also, what an absolute unit of a puck group, besides the missing Bloodlust. Red Paladin, 30-second cooldown window, Havoc, similar cooldown window, Sub-Rogue, similar cooldown window, and the double furries to keep you safe and sound. What a smooth run after all those wonky ones we had so far. Big fan. So I thought, flip it and do at least 1 proper key on my way to KSM before the reset. And lucky me, I got a Dawnbreaker. Plus 8, tyrannical. My healer had a time of his life. Just look at how easy he was able to deal with the incoming damage. What an absolute unit. In all seriousness, I was worried a lot here. I'm well aware that the healing pattern on the first boss is quite rough and the phasing overlap with the dot that needs to be healed can be very nasty, but boy, you're a Resto Druid. If there's anybody who can do it, it's you. With that being said, you already know I was mega worried on Anu Pikaj.
Say that again?
Because real ones will remember, this thing slaps. There's one specific overlap on ball number 4, in which the explosion will go off at the same time as the shadowy decay, and when you don't use an defensive there, this will be crazy. So what do rogues have for this? Well, for this specific moment, you want to hold cloak for. It just says talk to the hand on that damage window as it's all magic damage. For everything else, use feint on cooldown. Insane damage reduction from this thing, considering all of this crap is AoE damage anyways. Eventually though, I think we all know who we can be thankful for. Not even 3 mil, season 1 numbers right here. But, Vault time. Full hero mythic plus section, full hero delve section. The target is absolutely clear, tier set. If not, then at least that lily trinket from Echo Dome. Okay, this is getting stupid. I've talked to people without any tier in 2 weeks from the vault, and here I am having options. I thought about it, and I decided to go with the shoulders, because I do have a champ helmet with a socket to potentially convert in the future. And in hindsight, big regret. Shoulders got big haste, we want as little haste as possible. Ah well, you live you learn. What's even better is that we are not done with the upgrades. It is time for the big, juicy, veiny, throbbing tool that will put the Slay into Kusi Slayer. And with this new symbol of dedication, it was time to unleash the Ghost of Tirisfal. I felt unstoppable, man. The wet noodle rogue became the bricked up, rock hard noodle rogue to absolutely crush everything. And the best thing is, in Priory specifically, I reignited my joy for rogue. You see, back when I was a young Kusler, I played a rogue before any of the TBC nonsense, and my favorite thing to do in the dungeon was to annihilate the casters of the backline. Cloth mobs got absolutely spooned by me, and I remember the Scarlet Monastery specifically, and because Priory gives me the same vibes, it felt just like back in the day. Well, without the 10 seconds of auto-attacking cause energy starve, but you get the point. And all of that hard work, all of that training, the crafting, the 2-set that I just sniped out of sheer luck, the joy of stabbing, the muscle memory of dealing with short weapons.
What do you mean by that?
All of that led me to the final moment to our journey to KSM. 200 rating away. The only thing we need is an Ecodome key. And when I say I tried, boy do I mean I tried. Applying for hours, trying to be the one chosen for whatever reason, sneaking into a party that will ensure the absolute overwhelming joy of KSM and the second catalyst charge that goes along with it. So many keys, so many declines. So I started begging, whining, coping, and at almost 1 AM at night, I had a chance.